So some bear in Japan is super excited to have his new snowboard, and that snowboard was in good condition.
It was really...
I don't think any bears had used it previously.
No, not on the actual snow.
No.
Dinner and tournament.
Yeah, we were served by a winch that night.
Down, down, down. Red Knight's going down.
And it was Family Feud. Did I say
Family Food?
Family Food. Did I say Family Feud twice?
No.
Oh, it was a copy of Family Feud. This was actually my own personal copy of Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Feud.
Hi, and welcome to our What Sold video for July 21st through 27th, where we will go over every item that sold across multiple platforms for our reselling business. Let's dive in. Okay, the first thing that sold was an 8.5-inch galvanized metal Boy Scouts water canteen. This is the second one of these that we've sold. One had a metal top and one had a plastic top. This one was the one with the plastic top.
Yeah.
This one we found in the Goodwill bins. We paid $1.18 for it. We found it when we were playing Bins Bingo, and it sold for $23.98. They weren't super fast movers, but we sold both of them. So, next up was a Build-A-Bear Workshop bear-sized snowboard. And we found this at the garage sale where we got all the Build-A-Bear stuff. We paid just $1 for it, and it sold for $21. It went to a cold weather environment. It went all the way to Japan through the international selling program. International sales? Shipping? International shipping program. Wow, that took me a minute. So some bear in Japan is super excited to have his new snowboard. And that snowboard was in good condition.
It was really...
I don't think any bears had used it previously.
No, not on the actual snow.
No. Next up was a pair of Calvin Klein men's charcoal plaid wool blend flat front dress pants. These were gifted to us. We had no cost, and they sold for $16 on Poshmark. Next up was a lot of 2 Red Knight medieval times dinner towels. These are like the souvenir towels they give you that you like fling around to celebrate and like cheer on your night. So we sat in the Red Knight section one time when we went to medieval times. So these were actually the towels that we had received when we took the kids to medieval times. So although I have $0 on our spreadsheet, I guarantee you we paid
They were not $0
a lot
at the time.
for those Red Knight towels. They sold for $24.99 on eBay.
Dinner and tournament.
Yeah, we were served by a winch that night.
Down, down, down. Red Knight's going down. Down, down, down.
What's the name of that movie?
The Cable Guy. Fantastic
Oh, that's
movie.
from the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
I thought that was from a different.
No.
The one where they sing the Fake Wings song. Which movie is that?
The what?
The Fake Wings song.
No. That's Role Models.
Yeah.
No. That's Cable Guy.
Okay.
It's the same ones like, could I get a fork? It's like, there were no forks in medieval times, hence there are no forks at medieval times. Would you like a refill on that Pepsi?
Yeah, Pepsi.
Janine Garofalo.
Yeah.
Good movie. Go watch it.
Not a huge fan of
She knows not what she speaks of.
Jim Carrey comedy.
Admittedly, but it's good. It's good Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
It's dark Jim Carrey.
All right, next up was don't come after me for not liking Jim Carrey comedy. Do not come after me. All right, next up was a Polo Ralph Lauren vintage duffel bag. It had some wear on the piping on the bottom, which is why it says Reed. We got this at a garage sale for $5. Do be on the lookout for vintage Ralph Lauren duffel bags, even if they're the gift with purchase ones. Some of those can go for big money. This is the second time we sold this item. The first time it was returned because even though we had fully disclosed that it had the damage on it, the person complained and returned it. But this time it was well received. And that's good because we did not want to get it back again. It sold for $27.98 and it went through the international shipping program again, this time to Australia.
Nice.
And yeah, our international sales have increased recently.
It's weird. Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere.
We had like a real dry spell with international shipping.
We've been selling stuff to Germany lately.
Yeah.
It's just all over the place.
And recently we haven't changed anything. Sales.
Everything's exactly the same for us.
So I don't know what happened.
Where they're pushing, but it's good that since that came back once already, and we still made $470.
I even
at least we're still in the profit.
Reached out to the person. I was like, just want to make sure you saw the damage on it, and they were like, oh yeah, please go ahead and send it.
Oh yeah, I'm not an idiot. Not that the first person was an idiot.
All right, next up was a Sony Handycam camcorder. This one was in really good condition. We tested it. It worked. We got to watch somebody's old Christmas movie.
Wedding.
Oh, yeah, an old wedding movie. It was really boring, but we were able to test it with that. And it had all of the accessories, battery, and everything with it. We got this on an estate sale for $20.30. So for us, that was paying up. But it was worth it because it sold for our full asking price of $179.99. So those are definitely a BOLO alert. Any kind of vintage, especially Sony. Sony is a brand that sells really well, but a lot of different camera brands will sell well. The little handheld movie cameras do great. And if you can find them with the batteries, with the chargers and all the accessories, definitely a pickup. All right, next up was a lot of two Peter Millar men's performance golf pullovers. We lotted these two together because they both had Sharpie damage on them. And even so, they sold immediately.
Very fast.
We paid $2 for those at a garage sale where it was actually a moving sale, and the guy had like the most ridiculous amount of golf clothing items.
Good golf clothing.
Yeah, good golf clothing.
Peter Millar, Johnny O, like really good stuff.
Yeah, so much stuff. Like he was a shopping addict or something.
And we bought
I don't know what the deal was.
We bought almost all of it.
We bought as much of it that didn't have damage to the point where I wasn't comfortable selling it. So anything that was in good enough condition, but these did have like really small Sharpie marks on them. So we had paid $2 for those. They sold for $32.99 and they sold immediately, and we got positive feedback on those. So that was good. Next up was a lot of 4 1994 Marvel Masterpieces trading cards. These were from Kevin's personal collection, and they sold for $8.24.
It's a really nice set.
Next up was a vintage hand-stitched, it was a 33 by 30, so a very small little quilt, handmade quilt made with velvet squares. I described it as a wall hanging, a table topper, or a lap quilt. And it was signed. I don't know if it was signed by the artist. It had a name written on it. So I just said it was signed. I didn't know how else to describe that. And we took really good pictures of that. This was gifted to us to sell by family. So we had no cost. It sold for $42.99. Next up was a vintage 1987 copy of an Apple II video game. And it was Family Feud. Did I say
Family Food?
Family Food. Did I say Family Feud twice?
No.
Oh, it was a copy of Family Feud. This was actually my own personal copy of Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Feud.
And I actually played this game. I don't remember particularly liking it or disliking it.
None of those games at that point were really all that good. Yeah. They were just something to do on the computer.
But we had the complete game. We had the box, the instructions, the disc, everything.
Just for the vintageness of it, somebody wanted it.
Yeah. So it sold for $29.99. Nice. Next up was a 2020 Motorola Moto E 32 gigabyte black track phone smartphone. We tested it and it worked. This came out of that storage auction where we got like 20 phones, and all of them
worked.
Were broken except for this one. This was the only one that wasn't broken. We paid $1.16 for it, and this one sold for $32.99.
Well worth it.
Next up was a vintage 1995 Disney Color Splash Pocahontas replacement necklace only. This was gifted to us to sell. It came out of the Barbie bag and it sold for $10.38. Next up was another item from that golf moving sale. This was a Johnny O men's.
We made our money back already, and we have a lot of shirts and pants left.
Yeah, I think we spent like $60 at that
I think we
sale.
spent $60.
Yeah. This was a blue and white striped short sleeve performance comfort golf polo shirt. We paid $2 for this and it sold for $37.99.
That's one shirt.
And Johnny O is also a fast selling brand.
It is. People really like Johnny O.
Yeah. So before we continue, I would like to take a second to ask you to make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying this video or if you like reselling content. And while you're there, please make sure to hit that like button. We would really appreciate it. Next up was a Tommy Bahama jeans men's large 100% linen coral short sleeve button-up shirt. I always say that linen sells in any brand, 100% linen items, but for this item, not so much. I do not know why this shirt would not sell. We had it for like 5 years and it would not move.
That thrift store we haven't been to in a really long time.
Yeah, this shirt was like cursed or something. It just would not sell, even though it was 100% linen and usually linen sells.
Tommy
really
Bahama
well.
is not a fast moving brand.
It's not
ever.
Unless Tommy Bahama will sell typically if it's 100% linen, 100% silk, or if they're the Hawaiian style shirts that are crazy print. Like anything, like the gaudier, the better with Tommy Bahama. But this one just, I don't know. Nobody liked this one for some reason. Maybe they didn't like the color. Maybe our pictures were bad. I don't know.
We got our money back and we doubled our money.
We finally did. Yeah. So we had paid $3 for that at a thrift store that we've been to twice. It's a good thrift store. We just don't go to it very often.
I just don't like it for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
like going in there. It's just one of those places.
Yeah.
But
so it finally sold for $15.98. Next up was a vintage women's mid-century modern brown velour felt. It had a little heart for the little button, and I described it as a button cap beret. It had a little hat pin with it. It was the cutest hat, and I was surprised it didn't sell for more. I'd gotten this at an estate sale for $10. I did end up finally taking an offer for $24.90, so we didn't make tons on it, but
we got our $10 back.
We did get our $10 back, and I'm still glad we bought it and sold it just because it was such a cute little hat.
It was a cute hat. Somebody somewhere got a cute hat.
Yeah. It was so cute. I can't believe it didn't sell for more.
That's one of those where the joy is from finding someone who wanted something cool and getting it to them.
I was very glad to sell that hat.
Not from the money.
I'm happy to have the $4
But I will take the $4, yeah.
And have sourced and sold that hat.
Yeah.
Okay, next up was an item that may have been to a subscriber. So if you are a subscriber, Desiree, thank you for your purchase. This was 2 items that sold. It was a Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat new with tags men's necktie and a women's exhilaration medium black waffle stretch spaghetti strap tank top. We got both of those at 2 different garage sales. Actually, one came from the necktie came from a garage sale for $1, and the women's tank top came out of a storage unit for 28 cents. So we were all in total for $1.28. Those sold for a total of $27.98. So thank you again, Desiree, if you are a subscriber. We appreciate it. Okay, next up was a vintage Bartizan American Express manual credit card and printer processor, like the kind that you like.
Knuckle buster.
Yeah.
That's what we call them.
Yeah. So these are definitely bolos. If you ever find these, they sell really well. We found 2 of them at the same time at a garage sale. We picked them both up each for $8 a piece, and they've both sold. This one sold for $59.99, and this was the one that did not have a box. And then later on in an upcoming What Sold, you will see the one that sold that did have the box. Next up was a really good sale. This was a vintage Miopta oh my gosh, these are two hard words.
Optimus.
Precision.
Optimus.
Optimus. We earn everything. Nobody will get that joke. Miopta Optimus Precision Photography Negative Enlarger with bulb. So this was like a huge piece of equipment.
It was big.
It was like very large.
If you ever saw the video, we were at a rummage sale and we bought a whole bunch of photo equipment. And this was the big thing. This was the big piece, which was really what we bought the thing for.
Right.
And we've had this thing for like 2 years.
Yeah. I mean,
everything. We sold almost everything else out of that bundle.
Was a great
We've
purchase.
made so much money on that. But the biggest thing, the thing that caught our eye and made us go to it, took forever. But it sold finally, and I already had it boxed up, so it was just like...
Yeah. So it was... I think we paid $100.
$98, nice.
We paid $100 in total for all of the photography.
Yes, for everything.
But I had broken down, we got a lot of stuff in that lot.
There's a lot of
stuff.
So
I had broken down the cost and I said that we had paid $18 for this particular piece of equipment. It sold for $153.98. And we pretty much made all of our money back just on this one piece. But we had made our money back actually a long time ago on all the little stuff. So that was a really, really good purchase.
Again, photo trays, developer stuff.
Yeah.
Little squishy bulbs.
And we still have tons of stuff to sell
all kinds of all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. We milked that sale for all it was worth, for sure.
That's a good deal.
Milked that purchase, I should say.
Rummage sales.
Yeah, for sure. Rummage sales are the best. Next up was a vintage 7.5 inch. I described it as an eclectic folk art carved wood spotted cat figurine. It was a little shelf sitter, and I would have wanted to put the words Laurel Birch in the title because it was very much in the style of Laurel Birch. It was a total ripoff of a Laurel Birch cat.
That's what I was thinking.
We got this out of the Goodwill bins, and we had paid $2.26 for it. It sold absolutely immediately as soon as I listed it, and it sold for $18. It was marked on the bottom of it, Maui 1996, I think. And I don't think it was an original Laurel Birch, but it looked exactly like it. So definitely worth picking up if you ever see one that has that Laurel Birch look. Next up was a women's North Face extra large indigo purple geometric print open back tank top. This took forever to sell. We had gotten this at a thrift store that we never go to because their prices are
even older than the one from earlier.
Yeah.
One we've been to even less. Like way. Actually, that one doesn't exist anymore.
This one doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It either moved or shut down.
Oh.
It's not where we got this stuff.
Well, their prices were crazy.
Ridiculous.
They were crazy. This was like a sale price that we paid for this one. So we paid $3.61 for this. This tank top just would not move. And we finally sold it for $17.18. It was a really cute tank top.
We had it for so long.
I don't know why it took so long to sell, but it did. Next up was a 7-piece lot of vintage 1991 Mattel Barbie Dream Horse Rosebud replacement accessories. And these were from the Barbie bag. We had no cost and they sold for $13 even. Next up was an actual Laurel Birch silk scarf, and it was signed and everything. We got this at a garage sale for $1, and it sold for $22. It also sold immediately. So anything Laurel Birch or Laurel Birch related, you definitely want to pick up because it will sell fast.
Nice.
Next up was another pair of Peter Millar golf pants. These were blue performance stealth golf pants, like the microfiber performance kind of golf pants. We paid $3 for these at that same guy's moving sale, and they sold for $35 even.
I mean, that's already like $60-$70 just from this week's sales, not counting other things we've sold.
Exactly. Next up was a 3-piece Scream Mask costume. in an adult size, and it was brand new, I think. Was it brand new?
I think it was new,
Yeah. If it wasn't new, it was in really good condition. We got this at a garage sale for $1, and it sold really fast for $25. You do want to be on the lookout for any Gen 1 or Gen 2 screen masks. Those can sell for like in the hundreds of dollars, like $500 sometimes or more, maybe. I mean, they sell for crazy amounts of money. And I don't know how to identify which ones are Gen 1 or Gen 2. I think it takes a lot of research to figure out which ones are. Honestly, if you see a screen mask, I would probably, if you can get it for the right price, just pick it up and then do your research once you get it home. Because this one wasn't old. This one wasn't old, and we still made $13. $13
$1 and $13, so and it sold.
Yep. If you can get it for cheap enough, just pick it up, because some of them you stand a chance of making hundreds on.
Almost always worth it.
Exactly. All right. Next up was a vintage 1990s lot of 3 Littlest Pet Shop figurines. And these were gifted to us to sell. I think these were in the Barbie bag, and we sold those for $12.99. Next up was a Joseph Ribkoff women's black and nude striped sleeveless tank dress. We got this at a thrift store for $6.94. We had sold it a long time ago. It was returned due to a fit issue. We sold it again and like barely made any profit on it this time, but we did.
No, we got our $7
We got our $7 back, and we got all of our fees and stuff back. So now we are done with that.
That was just an item that every once in a while there's an item.
Yeah.
It's just, just not right. Like it'll come back, or somebody won't like it for no real reason, or this is just one of those items. I'm glad to get it out the door.
Selling it a second time is better than not selling it, because we made all those fees and the cost of goods back.
Yeah, and it's good for the store. Somebody got a dress they liked.
Right.
So.
All right, next up was a Spider-Man 2 boys size all over print button-up shirt. This came out of a storage unit for just 24 cents, and it sold for $10 even.
I got to use one of my Halloween bags. My Halloween bags have spider webs on them. So I got to use that for the Spider-Man shirt.
That made him so happy. He's mentioned that like 3 times since he did that.
It was cool.
Yeah. All right, next up was a Wild Blue by Sadie Robertson women's sheer blue floral flowy kimono wrap shirt, I guess. I guess it was a wrap kimono shirt. I don't really remember what that looked like. You'll see it in the picture. All right, we got that out of a storage unit for 28 cents, and it sold for $16. Next up was a vintage lot of 2 Rose Art 500-piece jigsaw puzzles. They were new in the box. We got these from a garage sale for $1, and they sold for $24.99. And that wraps up all of our sales for this particular week. So let's go over all of our totals.
All right.
We sold 29 items.
It's about right.
I thought this was a pretty good week.
29. Yeah, that's a pretty good week. That's good.
Our average sale price was $34.02.
That's a little higher than normal for us. That's good.
I mean, sales have been bad for us, so for this was a really good week.
Yeah.
Sales totaled $986.50 for a net profit of $556.69.
That's good.
Yeah.
For under 1,000 in sales, and we made $550 in profit. That was a good week.
I thought so.
We did good on profit.
So we're a little bit behind on videos. We're a little bit behind on what sold videos. And we're trying to catch up. We have been out of town. We've been super busy. So over the next few weeks, you'll probably see a lot of what sold videos while we're trying to get caught up. And I'll try to sprinkle in a few sourcing videos in there. We are listing like crazy. We have seen some results of that in our sales, and our sales have been picking up. So you guys, be patient with us as we're getting caught up on videos. I know that we have not been very consistent with posting on our YouTube channel. I apologize for that, but we do appreciate your support, and If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and drop a comment down below with what your favorite item was that we sold this week and what items you've been selling over summer and how you're preparing for Q4.
It's a lot.
All right, we will catch you guys
on the
flip
flip
side.